Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I am taking the class of Shastri first for the coming examination. Today I am discussing the critical appreciation of the poem The Tiger. It is very important for coming examination. The Tiger is obviously the most celebrated of all the poems of Blake, familiar to the students and scholars alike. Indeed, it is the most commented poem of William Blake and is considered Blake's masterpiece. The poem is equally popular among small children and adults through for different reasons. Blake here appears as a baffled person to whom the image of the tiger creates at once a sense of beauty and wonder. In other words, tiger bursting through the forest of the night creates a picture of awe. Its dazzling eyes radiate with a peculiar glow and create a sense of surprise at an looker. The tiger is the central image cum symbol presenting the mystery of God's creation and omnipotent. The poem consists of just 6 stanzas, and each stanza consists of 2 couplets. What is more remarkable is the series of questions raised by the baffled onlooker. In the first stanza, the poet begins by posing the riddle about the appearance of the tiger, whose physical anatomy creates a feeling of fearful symmetry. The tiger is at once a creature of beauty and terror. Its burning eyes at once radiate an unusual glow, whereas its head and mouth create an altogether different impression of its brute power and strength. In the very opening stanza, the questioner makes us amazed at the presence at a immortal hand in its creation. In the second stanza, the poet renews his query only to suggest that such a unique creature could not have been formed in an ordinary or a natural manner. The poet guesses that some unique craftsman must have looked for extraordinary materials from the depth of the ocean or heights of the skies for creating this creature of burning eyes. In a similar vein, the poet suggests that God must have showed to some unknown source for finding out the fire from heaven, just as Prometheus is reported to have stolen fire from heaven for making. In the third stanza, the baffled poet concentrates on the shoulders and muscles and the lower limbs of the tiger, such as its paws and sweet feet. In other words, his sense of wonder continues at both the created object, tiger, and its more awful creator. The image from Asmide is repeated throughout the poem in the stanza after stanza to stress the point that God is the greatest smith and craftsman, though his wonder workmanship is hidden from his normal view. In stanza 4, the poet concentrates on the brain or the skull of tiger, and once again God's wonderful workmanship is brought home through the imagery of a workman's tools such as the hammer, chain, furnace, and anvil. The poet here makes use of the flattering imagery which occur throughout the songs of experience, and in using the expression chain, the poet perhaps also implies that no ordinary mortal can chain the tiger. In the fifth stanza, the poet first of all refers to the supernatural elements and forces to bring home the idea that nobody could have subdued the fierce tiger except the angels, stars, who appear as military personnel. Similarly, the raindrops in the cloud are conceived as tears which other creature must have shed out the creation of this dreadful animal, the tiger. However, the crux of the poem lies in the baffled poet's query if God was happy at the result of his creation. Like a mystical poet, Blake does not answer the question but leaves the imaginative reader in no doubt that both the lambs and the tiger are created by God, representing the meekness and gentleness of one and power and passion of other. Blake believed that without controversies there could be no progression, and both the lamb and the tiger therefore are necessary for human existence. In the last stanza, Blake concludes on the same note of wonder, leaving the question unanswered and keeping the reader guessing about the way of God in creating the